As I draw this mandala, my heart is immersed in the divine essence of Bal Krishna, not just the playful Krishna from stories, but the quiet, unsung Krishna whose love whispered through the smallest acts of kindness. Today, as each stroke fills this canvas with devotion, let me take you on a journey into the tender, lesser-known Leelas of the Lord. One morning, little Krishna was scolded by Yashoda Ma. He had once again stolen butter and fed it to the monkeys. Upset, he ran into the forest near Vrindavan and sat beneath a kadamba tree. He spoke softly to its leaves. "You never scold me. You always shade me, even when I don't ask." The breeze picked up, gently swaying the branches, as if the tree was hugging him back. That day, the villagers say, the kadamba tree bloomed with a golden hue, its petals carrying Krishna's love. On another day, young Kanha found a calf limping near the Yamuna. Its leg was injured, and it had been left behind. Krishna tore a small piece of his own dhoti and gently wrapped it around the wound. He whispered, "You'll be okay. I'm here." That calf later became known as Chandan in the village and never left Krishna's side again. Not many know this. Krishna didn't always keep the best flute for himself. Once, on the river bank, he found a broken bamboo stick. He carved it into a flute and saw a lonely boy nearby, hungry, crying. Krishna handed him the flute and said, "Try playing this. Let your heart flow." The boy played, and the melody was so beautiful that even the clouds paused, swaying gently to his music. Then there was the time when Krishna helped a squirrel. The tiny creature fell into a muddy puddle during the monsoon and couldn't climb out. Krishna, walking by with his friends, noticed its faint squeaks. He scooped it up, cleaned it gently with his own cloth, and left it safely under a tree. The squirrel would later bring him twigs and seeds as tiny offerings. The Lord accepted them with a smile. For him, love was never measured by size. One unsung story tells how little Krishna sat with an old woman who had lost her sight. No one visited her anymore. She asked him, "Can you describe the colors of a peacock to me?" Krishna smiled, sat beside her, and spent hours describing every shade: blue like the Yamuna, green like the fields, gold like the marigolds at dawn. The woman wept, not from sadness, but because she felt seen, heard, and loved. The Lord had gifted her a peacock through words. One afternoon, a small bird fell from a tree near Krishna's home. The children were afraid to touch it, thinking it was dead. But Krishna gently picked it up, cupped it in his hands, and sang a soft lullaby. By evening, the bird fluttered weakly and flew off. From that day, a pair of birds always chirped on his window every morning. The village potters were worried. It hadn't rained, and their clay had dried out. Without pots, they couldn't trade. Krishna, just a child, dipped his hands in water and danced barefoot in the dry clay fields. The clouds, amused and drawn by his joy, showered rain over the potter's land that very night. One day, Krishna noticed a line of ants struggling to carry rice grains that had spilled outside his house. He lay flat on the ground, watching them. Quietly, he broke his laddoo into fine crumbs and placed it near the ant trail. His friends laughed, but he said, "They work so hard too. Why shouldn't they feast today?" There was an old man in the village whose fingers trembled and couldn't play flute anymore. One morning, Krishna visited him, held his hand, and played the flute with him. The music returned, and the man's hands stopped shaking when Krishna was near. He called him Bansiwale Chamatkar. As I draw the soft curls on Krishna's head and the sparkle in his eyes, I feel the joy he must have carried, not just as a god, but as a child, curious, loving, mischievous. We often speak of his mighty feats, lifting Govardhan, defeating demons, but these small moments, full of compassion, show his divine heart more than any miracle could. Puppy wandered into the forest and got trapped between roots. Krishna heard its tiny whimpers while herding cows. He carefully untangled the roots, carried it in his arms, and made a small swing out of vines for it to rest. The puppy was later seen following Krishna like a tail wherever he went. Leelas, tender and hidden, hold the kind of beauty that never fades. I hope my mandala captures even a fragment of that divine play. Thank you for joining me on this soulful journey with Baby Krishna. If his stories touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our creative universe. Jai Shri Krishna.